Yo, the most recent episode of Daredevil, that was crazy, man. I didn't like it. If you ain't seen it, that's crazy. So click off. But if you have, man, they was this guy that was a vigilante. They was trying to help him get free. He eventually got free at the end of the video, and then he died. The Punisher came back and killed him. He was a hired gun. The Punisher is. I think the vigilante he was looking to go back out and save his neighborhood because he thought somebody was in trouble. Um, damn, you just hate to see it. We'll see what they do in next episode.
I can't see my city, but I can feel it. It's rotten, corrupt. I let the dark power me. My mistake was thinking I was immune to the darkness.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Marvel announced a bunch of Daredevil Season 2 news and started filming episodes a little while ago. We got our first look at some of the returning characters, and one of the biggest things is that Daredevil will be putting a team together to fight Mayor Kingpin, just like in The Defenders. The head of Marvel TV already announced they were working on bringing back the Defenders characters from the Netflix shows, so when you hear Matt's putting together a team in Season 2 and filming episodes right now, everybody's wondering which of the Defenders are going to be on that team. So we'll break it all down, because Marvel is starting a new street-level war, Defender style, in what looks like Season 2. Defenders assemble, we're in the endgame now. Kingpin is finally going to do it himself. They're basically turning Kingpin into a bigger Defenders villain the way he should have been during the original Defenders series, like a street-level Thanos, we've been calling him the past couple years they've been developing the show. If you're brand new to the channel, we're in the middle of Season 1 episodes right now. Punisher is about to come back. We're like reaching the anniversary of Punisher debuting during Daredevil Season 2. Now, the same day, it seems like we're going to get a teaser for him by the end of this episode. Punisher showing up on the exact same day several years after the fact. Kinda wonder if Marvel planned it that way on purpose. My new episode video will post Wednesday just like normal, so be sure to subscribe to be the first to watch that. In related Spider-Man news too, because there's been so much Spider-Man talk during Daredevil Born Again, the Spider-Man social account in real life just took a line that was used in episode 2 recently, where Kingpin flat out references Spider-Man and a bunch of other Marvel characters during his inaugural address as mayor of New York City, a man dressed like a spider. Got a lot of Spider-Man questions since the show started, like what is Spider-Man doing when all this is going on week to week on the show? Like how is he involved in Kingpin's mission to get rid of all the vigilantes and superheroes in New York City?
We don't need a gun-toting vigilante who wears a skull on his chest, or a man who dresses in a spider outfit.
The way the head of Marvel TV explained this is that Sony has the rights to hour-long and live-action Spider-Man TV shows and movies, and Marvel has a special deal to share him in the movies, but not for the live-action shows. That's why Spider-Man, or Tom Holland's Spider-Man at least, cannot show up in the live-action TV shows. Marvel does have the animated rights to Spider-Man, which is why they could do the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man TV show, which I also did videos for this season. Generally just means that you shouldn't expect a Spider-Man cameo during Daredevil Born Again, but they can reference him all they want, like in episode 2 with that Kingpin line. There's no rules about stuff like that. But he has been busy being Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man since the end of No Way Home, since he got that crappy apartment Tobey Maguire style. The rent is due. Spider-Man, the rent is due. This all takes place a little while after the events of No Way Home, so some time has gone by since the end of that movie. The reason why we have all this news about Season 2, Defenders coming back, Matt putting a new team together of vigilantes to fight Kingpin, is because they're in the middle of filming Season 2 episodes literally right now as me making this video. You can see Charlie Cox here filming scenes during the broad daylight with Karen Page, who is wearing the most red wig you've ever seen. No idea why she's wearing that red wig. Maybe she's trying to disguise herself when they're walking down the street, or maybe by the events of Season 2 she just feels like being a redhead, or maybe Kingpin is also after her too for some reason. You remember, she is meant to be a very good journalist. Kingpin, not a fan of journalists, as Ben Urich will tell you. tends to wind up strangling the life out of anybody that reports on him in a bad light. Karen Page will also be back during Season 1 episodes because we're only about halfway through the season right now, but they didn't say which episode she's coming back for. We're still holding out hope for Foggy secretly being alive. We'll see about that, but we can say 100% Karen Page alive and well and will return this season. Zoom in and enhance on these Season 2 scenes, you can see a bunch of Kingpin's now very upgraded anti-vigilante task force in their Punisher body armor with upgraded weapons. Notice they're using way more hardcore assault vehicles too, as if Kingpin is turning New York City into a police state, creating the need for a vigilante defender-style team to come together again. Battle lines being drawn. It's a little harder to tell here too, but their body armor is still meant to use the Punisher logo, but they disguised it black, like it's not the white skull logo, it's just a black logo now etched into the actual armor itself. So Kingpin is spending some government level money here, like crazy money, to armor up this anti-vigilante task force.
I ran on a promise.
Pick up the vibe, always lit, even outside. Smile on my face, don't kill my high. Nah, just go with the flow. Pick yourself up if the mood gets low. Sometimes chill, take it.
And it sounds like he's just co-opting the Punisher cops and just giving them all this money and gear. Like, go after, round up all these vigilantes, arrest them now. It is open season on Spider-Man, Punisher, Daredevil, pretty much all the Defenders characters, any superhero at all in New York City. This is literally out of the Devil's Reign comic book that they're basing some of the season on, where Kingpin ran for mayor. This is a brand new scene from Season 2 with BB Urick during one of her reports. Not a huge fan of the way they're using those webisodes that BB Urick does during the show. That's something the original creative team shot before they got fired, and they brought back the original Netflix team to redo some of the episodes. I am interested to see her find out at some point, if she doesn't already know, that Kingpin killed her uncle, because it kind of seems like she doesn't quite know, but she will eventually find out. One of the other big changes for Season 2, in addition to all this Defender stuff that they're trying to bring back, is that it's the brand new creative team starting from the ground up on the Season 2 episodes. There weren't any episodes that the original creative team had already shot or written, so like the brand new team that they brought back from the Netflix shows could start fresh with Season 2. So it's like all 100% them. The big arc during Season 2 that was just announced was Matt putting together a team of vigilantes to fight Kingpin. Like, we're talking about street-level war here going on in the MCU. Think back to the head of Marvel TV saying that they were trying to bring back all the Defenders characters, and now you have all the Punisher stuff that's also going on with that at the same time, doing his own thing with these Punisher cops. A lot of you saw this and were like, okay, which of the Defenders are going to be on Matt's vigilante team? Like, that's literally them talking about the Defenders, like they're doing the Defenders again. Who's going to be on that team? Mike Coulter, who plays Luke Cage, literally like the last couple days just talked about coming back. In the comics, Kingpin became mayor during the Devil's Reign arc. Luke Cage was the character during that arc that eventually ran against him to try and oust him as mayor. I'm not expecting them to do exactly that on the TV show, like the live-action show, but there are a couple really logical reasons for all those Defenders characters to come back into the story, largely because of Kingpin's mission to arrest every single superhero in the city, and all of them are superheroes in their own right. Kingpin trying to get rid of all the vigilantes in the city. Eventually he's going to work his way uptown into Harlem, where Luke Cage is now basically taking care of the place. He was basically running Harlem at the end of the show.
The preacher's son will think he can use the roost to change things, but in the end, it will change him.
So it looks like from these scenes they're filming in Season 2, it's open war against people like Spider-Man, Punisher, Daredevil, like he said in that opening clip from Episode 2. Like, that's it, open season on all superheroes. Kingpin even made it sound like he had something to do with the retaliation against White Tiger from those Punisher cops. Also the fact that they're now wearing way more expensive looking body armor with the Punisher logo on it. Like, Kingpin has literally co-opted their group, if he isn't already controlling them, and just given them a whole bunch of government funds to get all these weapons, armor, and gear. My assumption, the reason why they dropped the white Punisher logo is either this is something they're doing while filming and they'll add it in post, or it's probably more likely a PR move on Kingpin's part to make them seem friendlier. Probably something that spins out of the events of Season 1 after Punisher and Daredevil go after these cops, because you do see a couple scenes of them fighting this group of cops with similar types of armored vehicles. Clearly they're not totally successful in getting rid of those Punisher cops if their whole team gets a huge task force upgrade. But it does seem like they are actually turning Kingpin into more of a street-level Thanos type of Defenders team-up villain, and he's turning New York City into more of a literal battleground with all this stuff. That head of Marvel TV has talked about doing Daredevil Born Again Season 3, but I don't know if they've officially renewed the show for Season 3 yet, so it's not clear if they're going to continue escalating things further with that Thanos Kingpin storyline to Season 3 and use that as the finale for that part of the story, then move the characters on to other stories, other villains, or they'll try to resolve all that stuff at the end of Season 2. Season 2 just does not feel like enough time, because I think there's only supposed to be 8 episodes in Season 2. Based on the way they're pacing out Season 1, we barely seen Kingpin in office, like he's barely done anything at all as mayor, like it's just getting started, and we're halfway through Season 1. And because we're talking about everybody coming back, I always get a ton of questions about Iron Fist and them doing legit Heroes for Hire. When it comes to people like Finn Jones actually coming back, it does sound like they're planning on bringing him back, but it's a little more complicated. Like there's just a lot of retooling with that character that they want to get right. He himself was actually just talking about doing a Heroes for Hire TV show with Luke Cage and Colleen Wing coming back because she also has the power of the Iron Fist as the end of that show. And because everything is canon, it means she still has the power of the Iron Fist in addition to Danny Rand.
The reintroduction of the character would be something like a Heroes for Hire TV series. I think that would be the most dynamic and the most fun way to reintroduce those characters. And I think I loved working with Mike. I loved the on-screen chemistry between Danny and Luke. I'd love to pick up the mantle again and keep moving this character forward, and make it the best possible Iron Fist that there could be.
When you listen to that, it does sound like it would be irresponsible for Marvel to not try and do a Heroes for Hire type of TV show. But even if they don't want to do a completely separate spin-off show for that, like dedicate that much time and energy and resources to it, they should at least reintroduce both of them as the already Heroes for Hire, like they've been doing Heroes for Hire stuff when they show up in a future season of Daredevil or another show. Jessica Henwick said she even had to turn down a role in the Shang-Chi movie, but as a completely different character in the MCU, because she said she felt like if she played that character in Shang-Chi, it would mean that her Colleen Wing could not come back. There are a lot of Marvel actors out there that play multiple different characters that bounce back between Marvel and DC. Kevin Feige seems to be pretty cool with stuff like that. But everyone post all your reactions in the comments below about all these people coming back and let me know what you want them to do with the characters after they resolve this Kingpin storyline of him being mayor. My next big episode video will post Wednesday morning just like normal. Be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss that. Click here for that video. I'll update the link as soon as I post that. And click here for my Invincible Season 4 video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next.
I'm just glad there's no winner for the PS5 giveaway. That stuff gets on my nerves. Anyways, we out of here.